This week's math flips are friendly numbers 3s and 6s. And there's little tricks that you can memorize for these. That little, if you multiply a 6 by an even number, it ends with the same digit. That's fun, but sometimes your brain forgets to memorize little tricks. So it's important to study strategies as a group. So we're going to look at times 3 facts, and the strategy we're looking at is doubling the number, because we double from years ago. You learned to double in kindergarten and first grade. You know doubling, and now you're just going to add a group. So 3 should come to you a little bit more fluent. Times 6s, we multiply by 5 and add a group. Let's look at some of your math flips together, and then I'd like you to take out your math flips and practice them and share one on Flipgrid with the class. With each flashcard, we're going to ask how many, how do we know, and then flip to side B and how many now and how do we know. After a while, we'll look at what's same and different about A and B and what we notice about this deck as a whole. So let's look at a couple of math flips. So side A has 5 groups of 3. 5 times 3 is 15. Very good. Side B, notice this is the same. We know 5 times 3, but now it's 6 times 3. 5 times 3 is 15. One more group is 18. 15 plus 3 is 18. 5 times 6. 3 times 6 is 18. Sorry, guys. Let's look at side A on another type of card in your packet today. 7 times 5. 5 facts, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. 5 times 7 is 35. One more group, so not only 35, but another group. So now we have 7 times 6. 7 times 5 was 35, plus another group of 7 is 42. 7 times 6, 42. Let's look at another one. We notice we have 5 groups. 5 is a friendly number. 5 is something we count by from an early age, and this happens to be 5 times 9. For 9 facts, I like to do 5 times 10 is 50, subtract a group of 5 and do 45. You could also skip count by 5s, that's efficient. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. 5 times 9 is 45. You could also do the 9s trick, where you hold up your hands, hold down the 5th finger, and see that it's 45. I don't know which way you are, so 45. Flip it to the back, so 5 times 9 is 45. Now it's going to be 9 times 6. Now there's 6 groups. So we're just adding another group of 9. We already know 9 times 5 is 45. So now 9 times 6 is just 9 more. 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. 9 times 6 is 54. Okay, here's a friendly number fact. 5 times 3, we've seen it, 15. This is just another way to look at 5 times 3. Let's add another group of 3, right? And we know that fact from before is 3 times 6 is 18. Very good, guys. Let's look at some just with the numbers. 8 times 5, friendly number 5. We could do double and then half. We could do 8 times 5 is the same as 10 times 4. That's a good way of looking at this problem. We could do 8 times 10 is 80, and then half of that is 40. Good. Or we can count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. 8 times 5 is 40. Add another group of 8, 48. Good. We don't need to count by 1s by that. We know that 40 plus 8 in our head is 48. How many on this side? 5 times 3 is 15. How do you know? Hopefully by now, 5 times 3 and 15 is coming to your head just like that. It's a fact that you've seen since 3rd grade. Add another group. 5 times 3 is 18. How do you know? Hopefully you said or thought to yourself that 15 plus 3 is 18. How many? 9 times 5 is 45. Very good. How do you know? Maybe you counted by 5s. Maybe you were able to count by 9s. Maybe you did the over strategy and 9 times 5 and did 5 times 10 is 50. Subtract 5 is 45. So 9 times 5 is 45. Add another group of 9. Now it's not 9 times 5 is 45. Now we have 9 times 6 is 9 more, which is 54. Couple more. How many? Just a doubles fact, right? 8 times 2 is 16. Double 8 is 16. How do you know? Hopefully because you know your doubles just like this. They are fluently able to recite from your mouth, from your brain, recall them very quickly. Sorry, couldn't recall the word recall. Recall them very quickly because you've seen it so many times, so that pathway in your brain is very strong. 8 times 2 is 16. Add another group. Now we have a threes fact that's not as common. 8 times 3 is just another 8. 8, 16, 24. 16 plus 8 is 24. You know because double 8 is 16, plus another 8 is 24. How many? And how do you know? 5 times 4 is 20. Hopefully that's a fact that just you're able to recall just like that. Maybe you can count by 5s or count by 4s. 5, 10, 15, 20. 5 times 4 is 20. Let's add another group. How many now? Good, 24. You should have said it just like that. 6 times 4 is 24. We just have another 4. 5 times 4 is 20, plus another 4 is 24. How many? 14. Good. 7 times 2 is 14. Add another group. How many now? Good. 21. 7 times 2 is 14, plus another 7 is 21. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. How many? 25. Good. 5 times 5 is 25. That should come off just like that. You should already be fluent with this type of fact. 5 times 5 is 25. Let's add another group. How many now? Good. 30. 5 times 5 is 25, plus another 5 is 30. 5 times 6 is equal to 30. Number form, 6 times 5 is 30. Good, that's a 5's fact. Add another group. How many now? 6 times 6 is 36 because 6 times 5 is 30, plus another 6 is 36. Very nice job, guys. Here's our last one. How many? 35. 5 times 7 is 35. Very good. Let's add another group for a less known fact that some of you struggle with. 6 times 7 is the same as 5 times 7 is 35 plus another group of 7. Now it's 6 groups of 7. So 6 times 5 is 30. I'm sorry. 7 times 5 is 35 plus another group. 7 times 6 is 42. 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42. Remember, we're counting by groups of 7, so the way you picture this, we're not adding 6 to it, we're adding 7. Be careful on that one. It was fun working with you today. Thank you, 5th graders. Go practice your Math Flips cards and the Mathagon website to increase your multiplication fluency.